is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Review. And what I'm looking at today is 2021's Witches in the Woods, directed by Jonathan Barker, who sounds like a character from a Bram Stoker story. In any case, what this movie brought to mind was 2021's Agnes, but in a good way. If you recall Agnes, it revolved around a nun and a possession. But my feeling about Agnes was that it was not a horror movie. It had horror movie overtones to it, possession, but it was a drama, and it was a very good drama. But I thought that treating it as a horror movie sold it short, and I think it would have been much better received if it removed all those horror elements and just played as a drama around a person who had mental illness, perhaps, as opposed to horror, the elements of which felt very shoehorned in. Witches in the Woods has a similar type feel to it, but it works. It's hard to tell if what's happening is due to some variation of mental illness or a genuine possession. If you're not aware, the movie is currently on Tubi. It revolves around a group of young people who are taking a break from college to go snowboarding. And they happen to be driving in this area where, in the past, there were witch trials. And so they get lost on the drive. Their car is damaged, and it's probably fairly obvious that since they're going to go skiing, that there's snow. So it's really cold. They damage their car and are stranded and have to find ways to get help. And the area that they happen to be skiing in doesn't have much in the way of cell phone reception. So they are truly stranded. And slowly but surely, members of the group begin to lose touch with reality. Is it because of an ill-at-ease spirit? Maybe. And that's why this movie works so well. Jonathan Barker, as the director, gives relatively little information about what these young people were doing prior to the ski trip. But he gives you enough clues to let you know that something really traumatic happened to one of the women on the trip. Was she raped? Was she in some type of traumatic situation? Most definitely. It doesn't specify what, but little clues come out throughout the movie that indicate that something very bad happened to her, and it was filmed. So it sounds vaguely sexual to me, as in rape adjacent. So in any case, she's on this trip, and she starts to come apart. Once again, you don't know why. It's also told in the narrative that she's taking meds for something or another, though one of the side effects is seizures, which is relevant to the story. So after a point, these young people begin to kill each other. And the narrative doesn't clarify why, but it works in this instance. We don't know if this is the result of possession. We don't know if this is just the result of people being paranoid and being afraid and being petty, and they're just lashing out at each other. And perhaps subconsciously, the story of the witch gives them justification for doing so. This is a really well done movie. It's interesting, and by my reckoning, what's particularly important is that it looks like a movie. It's shot in such a way that it looks cinematic. And this is not something everyone can do. But Jordan Barker, whom I've probably called Jonathan Barker at numerous points, once again, the Dracula reference, Jonathan Parker. In any case, Jordan Barker has managed to pull it off. It's a great looking movie, and it's well acted because if it weren't, I'm not sure that this conceit would be carried off particularly well. And I'm not a believer in the supernatural. Not really. I think the universe is large and many things are possible. Many things beyond our comprehension are possible. But at the same time, I'm not a big believer in this stuff. But what Barker does as a director is that he makes it seem plausible. That for various reasons, a person could start losing their mind in a very limited way, which isn't to say they go crazy, but they, for moments, just lose touch with reality and bad things result. If you haven't seen Witches in the Woods, which I think is a terrible title, first off, it reminds me too much of The Watcher in the Woods, which is a Disney movie, which I need to review, by the way. I need to see that again. I recall it to be really interesting, but it's a fairly obvious title, and I don't think it works as well as something that perhaps were a little more vague. Though if you have not seen Witches in the Woods, it's currently on Tubi, well worth your time. This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Review. If you agree, disagree, let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or follow.